Hey, welcome to the live training for the Simple Growth home cleaning estimate workflow for Service Autopilot for home cleaning companies or commercial cleaning companies that estimate in a high or low range before you set an exact price. So if you're going out and giving a high and low price range for your top to bottom or deep clean, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly cleans, this is going to be your training video, how to go in and set this up or actually use the setup workflow in Service Autopilot. If you're watching the beginning of this live training event or the recorded version, and you are pricing by square footage, size of room, or size of room with a square foot range for an exact price, go back and double check the link. But this is for the high and low price range, how to go in, set that estimate up, schedule it, and then go ahead and set your fixed pricing and then get that onto the dispatch calendar at Service Autopilot. So without any further delay, we're going to jump right in. So the first thing we're going to do is log into Service Autopilot. We're going to go in and hit the plus sign. We're going to add a lead in. We're going to enter in all the pertinent information that we need to get before we hit in our fillable lead sheet. If it is a customer or potential lead that has multiple properties, we can select a master property and select the additional property underneath that. Under details, or actually before we get to details, under the cell phone field, when in doubt, always put the cell phone in here. This is going to go in and allow you to tie into extra functionality as far as two-way texting and other automated features. If it is not a cell phone, it's not going to hurt you, but by default, stick it in here whenever in doubt. So we want to stick in contact information. Service address will automatically fill into billing address. If the billing address is different, you can override it. All this information will be linked in your fillable lead sheet, so there is going to be no double entry. It'll automatically pull that in for you. Under the details tab, we want to go in and select commercial or residential so we could segment our database. And on the last thing we do is under sales, we're going to go into sales and select the sales source, how they heard about you. That should be set up in your Service Autopilot. And for some reason, if they do ask you not to be marketed, we can click do not market and we can opt them out of all email marketing except invoicing and billing. Once we have them, hit save. So instead of making an additional test client in my instance, I'm just going to go in and pull up an existing test client. So once we have them in there, we're going to go up to the A for auto assist up in the upper left-hand corner if you have automations. If you do not have automations, if you scroll down to where forms is and click forms, we can go out and hit fill a form and find the fillable lead sheet. So it's 20 dot fillable lead sheet because that is a marketing or actually a sales function. So we would either select it here and hit continue or scroll up top to the A, fillable lead sheet, and click it here and fill that out. Just as a quick reminder, as we're looking at this client, or this person here is a client because there's 3 distinct columns. If they were a lead, there would be one long column across the screen as an estimate. So I'm actually going to add that lead in real quick just so you can kind of see the difference as a visual representation. And I'm just going to put tester 7 in here and we're going to hit save. So as we pull this up, we would have filled out if it was a part of a master property, the lead source, and commercial or residential under the separate tabs and save that. So you can see visually here, you have a different view now that we have the estimate across. So when they are a lead, that looks different. And as you go in the upper corner here in the search bar, the upper right-hand corner next to that icon is a red L. So that means it's a lead. That's your visual clue. And right here is just the icon with no L. So that is a client. So that's your your different parts of the system. So you have a lead and a client, and then we're going to show you how to convert that lead into a client later in the training. So what we're going to do is now that we've got a lead, we're going up to the A for auto assist or going to forms, clicking fill out form and finding the 20 dot fillable lead sheet. I'm going to show you the workflow off the auto assist because that's where most people will be with automations. Click at fillable lead sheet. Your version may be a little bit different to this, but basically what's going to happen is we'd fill in the salesperson. So that is going to be me, the date, cell phone number automatically populates off the screen. From the contact record, we've got first and last name pre-populated. How did you hear about us? Is it a one-time or ongoing service? Is it a move in, move out? If we're getting you pricing already for a deep clean or top to bottom, would you like a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? Are you getting ready for a special event? How soon do you need your first cleaning? Have you hired a cleaning service before? I'm just going to put test in here. What's most important when hiring cleaning service? When's the last time you cleaned the home? Square footage home. This is very important. Ask them the square footage of home. If they are unsure, you may want to open up another tab and pull up Zillow to find the home square footage. In this instance, I'm going to put 1,200. Number of baths, I'm going to say 2.5. And number of bedrooms, I'm going to say 3. Number of living areas, I'm going to say there is 2. Wood or tile, yes or no. Number of pets. And number of people living in the home. We're grabbing their email. This pre-populates if you've already grabbed it off the actual lead entry. Would you like text notification? There's a call script here. And if you scheduled an estimate on site, we can track that if you schedule it one time. And if you email the estimate and some result notes. Once you're done, you're going to hit submit. So that's going to grab all the information off the fillable lead sheet. At this point, you're going to continue the conversation with the prospective lead and just continue to say, hold on one second while we do this. We're going to pull up a live estimate for you for high and low pricing. We're going to go in to, if you missed that, it is add an estimate here, templates, and we're going to go in. We've broken it up for the office and on-site, and we're going to, obviously this is from the office because we're quoting it live off the phone. Hit apply. All your services are going to load based on the setup of your service autopilot. They will populate based on the specific budgeted times and prices that you've filled with us, or if you're in the CBF model, it will be based off the CBF production numbers based times your hourly rate. What we're going to do is that fell into 1,200 square feet. So this is going to give us our high and low range for top to bottom. If the filth index was a little bit lower, this is between 8 and 10 hours for one person or 9 to 11 hours. So this one, let's just say the filth index was high. We'll quote that. So we hit click draft and that moves it to quote. And if they want a weekly clean, we'd hit quote. Draft a quote for bi-weekly, and let's not quote the monthly. So anything in draft will not show when the client actually gets this estimate. So this is our internal check. So it's going to give us a high and low price, budgeted time, and we can go out and submit that now. As we scroll down, so our next square footage range was 15,001 to 2,000. 1,200 is obviously out of that range. We built the system to protect you, to not be able to quote something in error. So we're going to scroll down. There's a lot of selections here. The system goes out all the way up to, I believe, 9,000 square feet. So once we don't need those areas, we scroll to the bottom, hit save. That's going to kind of collapse it. And then the system will default to just what we quoted. So we're going to go in here. Once this loads, we've got it, everything in quote. We're going to go up to the top and hit email. This is going to load a pre-templated email for us. And this is a set it, forget it situation. In another video, we're going to show you how to actually edit all your documents in the document editor for your Simple Growth home cleaning model. So you control your documents and you can add some logos and brand them up if you want. But this is our default template. Quote link, if you are editing it, just as a reminder, do not delete that because that's going to merge in the clickable quote link for your system. So we're going to hit send. I'm going to hop over to my other screen and pull up my email and pull up this estimate we're sending live right now. As a general reminder, once we send this, I am actually being the client. So we are right now going in as a potential lead or client trying to sign up. And I've got my email swinging over here. As advertised, click view proposal. That's where quote link was. And this is what it looks like. This can be branded up and colors changed in the document editor, so don't worry about that. And the client's going to select or deselect what service they want or don't want. So I'm going to go with the top to bottom and a biweekly clean. In the high or low ranges is $360 low, $440 for the maximum for the top to bottom, and then my biweekly clean is going to be $110 to $121. The consumer is going to scroll down and click here to sign estimate. I'm going to sign electronically with my mouse, hit save, click in, type my name, and hit accept proposal. What's going to happen in about 3 to 5 minutes is an email that's automated that you don't have to worry about will automatically go to the new person that just accepted this lead. And then it will allow them to know that we've already received the acceptance and we're reaching out to schedule it. What we're going to do is go back into Service Autopilot now. So now we know that we're good. We're going to go back into my email inbox. This is the email. Thank you for accepting the proposal. So now we've automatically confirmed with the new client that we've accepted that, and we're going to schedule them. When you go back into Service Autopilot, if you go in and refresh the browser now, this estimate is 1, and you can see that. So when we click in here, first thing, if you obviously want to try to close the sale over the phone, if you go in and they want this top to bottom and biweekly and you're on the phone, just simply click the button here from estimate sent and you can cycle through. It would look like quote, click it again, it's to 1. And if you lose it, click to lost. So that's going to give you the ability to manually change that on the fly. Thing I want to show you is once I accepted that online as the potential new customer, the signature information automatically came through, time and date stamped with IP address for collections, as well as under attachments here. Click on this, estimate PDF. An example of just what they accepted is here with their electronic signature. So if you ever need to take them to collections or it's a commercial cleaning account, you have a record on file. Next step is going into the estimate. We've won the estimate. So whether we've won it on phone or they have accepted it online, we need to go in and hit schedule. The system is going to yell at us because they are a lead. They need to be a client to schedule. So we're going to convert this lead into a client. This is what this is. Just hit convert. Now that we've done that, they are a client. We're going to convert this into a scheduled job. We're going to go and hit schedule. Box will pop up. We're going to go top to bottom first. We're going to schedule that job, package job. We're going to go in and select package renewal type. It's do not renew because it is a one-time top to bottom clean. We're going to deselect the lower price range. So we're going to have the higher price range on here so to make sure we do not undercharge for this. And once we have the actual time, we can adjust this manually on the closeout day screen or dispatch board. So we're going to go in and hit save. There's certain conflict days that we cannot clean on. If we hit one of these, it will now allow us to schedule on those days. So we're going to hit save. Next thing we're going to do, as you can see, is take a look at it. Once this refreshes, it's not going to allow you to double schedule the cleaning because it's already got scheduled on here as I'm with my cursor. So the next thing we're going to do is once we schedule the one-time top to bottom clean, we're going to leave the biweekly clean where it is. And what we're going to do is scroll up to scheduling, dispatch calendar. If you do not have dispatch calendar turned on yet, please contact Service Autopilot and they will turn this on for you. And it comes with training included with the normal cost of your setup through Service Autopilot, their subscription. So hit dispatch calendar. What we're going to do now is we would have all of our crews listed here on the left. This is our test client here with myself and Debbie Sardone and a couple other people that we've got in this test instance. So we're going to put Carla, Debbie, and myself lined up. When you go under settings, under the more tab, we are able to, or actually under the gear icon settings, we're able to time slot resources, set up either half-hour slots, but we've already set these up. That comes with your Service Autopilot training outside of Simple Growth. But we'll also include a video in your list. But once this is set up, what we're going to do is go to the bottom left-hand corner, waiting list jobs. You can see here, click on this. That's going to expand all the waiting list jobs. So the top to bottom clean, there's obviously in this test account a few, but we're going to grab it for test tester 7. This is the one we just did. And let's just say I wanted to put it on my schedule for 11 hours. I'm going to show up at 8:30. So what that's going to do is grab the next 11 hours. If I had 2 people on that crew, if it was not a solo cleaner, it would basically take 11 and divide it by 2 and take that time slot. So now we can see that this is fully booked out right up through fictitiously through 5 p.m. So that is what it would look like when they're open. But if you have like a smaller job, you can drag and drop it in there. So now what the workflow is we go out and we get this job done. And let's just say the following week, we go up here and scroll forward and we want to go into the 23rd. So maybe it's going to be a bi-weekly Friday clean. I can go in then and click in, and if we have this 8:30 slot open again on Fridays for biweekly cleans for myself, I'd click add a reoccurring job, and then I'm going to go into schedule, and I'm just going to say a biweekly even or odd week. So what that's going to look like, or custom schedule. And I'm going to pull this up just so you can see the calendar here. But when the week starts, if it's even or odd, what week this is, it will tell you if it's a weekly, even or biweekly. So if I was going into August 23rd, that's week number 34. So that's a biweekly even. So I'm going to go in there and create the schedule biweekly Friday. Even weeks right here. Click on this. And then I'm going to go in and just type in biweekly. Now, the beauty of the way we've set up the system is you couldn't misquote the prices. But in addition, it's going to show up all your prices as zero here unless we've quoted it. So as we scroll down to our biweekly price, we're going to have, and we might not have clicked the button, but what you'll have here is your biweekly price for that service if we selected it. So let me scroll down here and see if I can't get that to populate. All right, we'll pull back in and let's just see if that populates here. So this is a test account. This may not have the pricing already loaded into it, but what will happen in your live account is we will have a property specific pricing for, say, biweekly. So let's grab this biweekly here and we'll load it in, and we can go in and put the pricing that we had in here originally. So biweekly price was 110 to 121. So if we said, hey, it's on the higher end after cleaning it once from the top to bottom, we would go in and put the 121 in there. And what we'd also do is put our budgeted hours. So if we were going in and calculating that out, and we pulled up our calculator, and that was $121. And let's just say we were charging $45 an hour. So we take 121 on our calculator divided by 45 equals 2.68 hours. So our budget hours is 2.68. And we'd hit save. And I created an extra one, so I'm going to delete that out. And then we would save it, and that would be moving forward to actually do that job. We also want to set up the initial start date here of the 23rd, and we're going to start reoccurring on the 23rd. So we need the service name. The initial start date is that next Friday. We start recurring the next Friday, assigned to who it is. The rate, and then the budget hours is your rate divided by what your man hours are. Traditionally, outside of a test account, when you pull this drop-down menu, it is going to pull up the actual price for you. You can just select it. So, but you do want to reconfirm the budgeted hours because that will change sometimes when we're doing a high-low price range. So, main idea is get the service or set the schedules, grab the service, initial start date, recurring date, assign it to a resource, the rate, and then take that rate divided by what your hourly goal is, and that should get you going, and hit save. And we need to select the client. There we go. So once again, I forgot the client part of it. So we're going to the client, schedule, service, start initial start date, start recurring date, assign to the rate, what we're charging after the initial top to bottom deep clean, and the budget hours. And the budget hours is your rate divided by the total desired dollar per hour goal per person. And then we'd hit save, and we have that on our schedule as a biweekly clean, and that's going to block out 2.6 hours in that schedule, so we can't overbook it. Any comments or questions, feel free to drop us an email at help@simplegrowthsystems.com. That concludes our training video for estimating and pulling the information into the scheduling. Once again, included with your Service Autopilot subscription, you can get a one-on-one call, no extra charge, with one of the Service Autopilot training experts to walk through the dispatch calendar to make sure you're comfortable with the scheduling process.